All right, so this this Democratic debate, I mean, I was expecting a clown show. It was worse. You know, it was like they were trying to be the stereotypes we make fun of them as. I mean, there you had Beto, little Beto, who's a white Irish dude named Robert Francis, goes by the name Beto to sound more Hispanic. And then to make people think that he was Hispanic or something, he just starts speaking Spanish on the debate stage. And they obviously didn't have a translator there. Of course they didn't. It's an American presidential debate, so no one knows what he's saying, and he's just not speaking English and going off at the mouth.
Necesitamos incluir cada persona en el éxito de esta economía. Pero si queremos hacer eso, necesitamos incluir cada persona en nuestra democracia. Cada votante necesitamos la representación y cada voz necesitamos escuchar.
Necesitamos representar. No one knows what you're saying. So in case you were curious, we got a translation. Here's what he said when he was asked about the economy. He basically said what everyone else on that stage said. He said, quote, "We need to include everyone in the success of this economy. But if we want to do that, we need to include everyone in our democracy." What? Every voter needs representation, and every voice needs to be listened to. Well, we already have that, everyone in our democracy, unless he means everyone, including non-citizens, which he very well may. Because Elizabeth Warren, she wants to decriminalize border crossing. So is it far-fetched to say that some of these Democrats want illegal aliens to vote and participate in our democracy? I mean, seriously, what does he mean we need to include everyone in our democracy? What does that mean? And why would he say it in Spanish? Maybe it was a dog whistle, right? Now, Cory Booker's face was priceless during that exchange. I mean, you see him look over like, what the hell is going on? Are you speaking Spanish, dude? And I thought it was because he couldn't believe that Beto actually was going to go on an American debate stage and speak Spanish. But no, it turns out he was just doing that to say, dude, you stole my act. You stole my act. Because later in the debate, here's Booker also doing the whole Spanish gig.
La situación ahora es inaceptable. Este presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es inaceptable. Voy a cambiar este.
It's inacceptable, guys. It's inacceptable. Inacceptable. You understand? I mean, this was awful. Awful. You got Beto speaking Spanish. You got Booker speaking Spanish. Americans are like, what the hell is going on here? What is going on? I'd like to understand their answers. So again, we'll translate Booker's Spanish for you because for those of you who don't speak Spanish, he said, the situation now is unacceptable. This president has attacked and demonized migrants. It's unacceptable. I'm going to change this. So I find it so interesting, so very interesting that all of a sudden the situation at the border is unacceptable, unacceptable. Now, all of a sudden, there is a crisis at the border. Now, all of a sudden, it's unacceptable. Before, remember, it was a manufactured crisis. Now, the moderator also jumped in. The moderator, who, by the way, was Fidel Castro's nephew. Not making that up. The moderator also decided to get in on the Espanol action, gave Beto the opportunity to flex some more of his Spanish-speaking muscles.
¿Qué haría usted en el primer día, si usted es presidente, sobre esta realidad que está ocurriendo? What would you do, Congressman, day one at the White House?
Vamos a tratar cada persona con el respeto y dignidad que merecen como humanos.
So again, for those of you who are American and therefore speak English, the moderator asked, quote, Congressman O'Rourke, what would you do day one if you were president about the reality we are living in? And then Beto says, we are going to treat every person with the respect and dignity they deserve as Americans. I mean, that's a nothing answer. You were asked about day one. We're going to respect everyone. What about day one, Beto? That's what we asked you about. Not your overall chi in life. Respect everyone. This guy's a lightweight. And yet the New York Times, they're saying they're referring to him as one of the two with the deepest and most personal expertise on the issue of the border. Really? Really? Here's his plan for the border, don't forget.
If you could, would you take the wall down now? Here.
Yes.
Like you have a wall.
Absolutely.
Knock it down.
Look, if you're advocating to knock down the wall, you have zero expertise on the issue. You're an idiot. But Beto thinks he did a fantastic job in the debates.
I'd give myself an A.
He did give himself an A. He, of course, wasn't the only idiot on that stage. One Democrat candidate actually suggested he'd be in favor of abortion for biological men.
I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice. And what that means is that just because a woman, or let's also not forget someone in the trans community, a trans female, is poor, doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose.
That was Julian Castro. A trans female, get an abortion. Trans female that is a man, don't forget, who identifies as a woman. So that person cannot become pregnant. It is scientifically impossible. And yet Castro supports abortion rights for that person. I mean, what are we watching here? What is this?